It's the Jane Carroll Show on AM 1360 KUIK, Westside Talk Radio.
Welcome back, Westside. This is the Jane Carroll Show, and I'm John Kuzmanich, filling in for Jane. She will be back tomorrow. I am proud once again. We're very fortunate here. KUIK is allowing us to run the Oregon Roundtable, Tea Party Roundtable, something like that. We've been doing it all week. I'm in studio with Jeff Reynolds, a Tea Party favorite. He's the chairman of the Multnomah County GOP. The guy's been tireless in his efforts for freedom and liberty here in Oregon. Jeff, welcome to the show in the studio.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
We got 2 hours of Tea Party anything, but on the line right now, we have John LaRosa and Brad Marston, a political consulting team out of Massachusetts, and something of social media gurus, and they also were involved in the dramatic Scott Brown upset. John, Brad, you with us?
Yes. Yep. Great to be here.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, John.
Well, let me hear this. Let me hear your story. I'm here with Jeff Reynolds. I think you met Jeff along the way, haven't you?
We have at Charger Jeff on Twitter.
That's right.
The Twitter.
How's that weather up there, huh?
John and Brad are out of Boston. I think that was Jeff's New England accent. For those that couldn't tell.
Wicked awesome job. Yeah, wicked awesome.
I've been working on it.
Keep working. All right, guys. Well, tell the listeners your story. You were part of a 29-point Democrat state. You were part of the Scott Brown. I know you Twittered, but give me your part of the story and give us let the listeners know what happened there. It's a very interesting tale.
Well, this is Brad, and I actually got involved with the campaign early on. Ran the Boston region signature drive for Scott. In September, and we're out there, and people were basically saying to us, "Scott who?" I remember our first campaign event. At a local supermarket. It was Scott, myself, a couple of staffers. We're handing out flyers, and we would, about every half an hour, send somebody around to the shopping cart and pick up the flyers that people had left, because that's about how much money we had. Was we couldn't even waste 10 cents on a flyer, and it just started kind of building. But I would say probably my biggest impact was because I helped organize the original Boston Tax Day Tea Party in 2009 and organized the 2009 Independence Day Tea Party. I was on a conference call with leaders from the St. Louis Tea Party, Memphis, Dallas, in December of 2009, and kind of throughout, it's like, guys, you do know that we have a Senate election coming up in Massachusetts in January, and I was just amazed that so few people on the call were even aware. And this was after the New York 23rd Doug Hoffman election, and people were really sort of reluctant to get involved because nobody really thought Scott had a chance, even at that late date. And a week or so later, you had the Christmas bomber. And the Brown campaign kicked in, and then you had that first Rasmussen poll showing him within single digits, and we had already kind of laid the groundwork with the Tea Parties around the country, and you started getting the media attention and the Tea Party talking it up, and we ended up just being flooded in Massachusetts with Tea Party folks from around the country.
Now who did the Twitter hashtag number 41?
41st vote was my creation, and I came at the whole campaign from a different perspective. I did volunteer, but I was not a staff or a field guy. I was just actually a business consultant who had a client breach a contract just before the election, and it was right around Christmas time. I had always been a fairly conservative tweeter under the TCOT tag, even before that on my account. So I just devoted a lot of time to Twitter and spreading the word about Scott's viability.
And it caught on.
And the only compelling value proposition for anyone to donate to some guy from Massachusetts at that point was 41st vote. Nobody in Alabama or Oregon or any place else
really had much interest in that race other than that compelling and urgent value prop.
Well, I'll
the
tell.
healthcare bill was being rammed through. The Cornhusker kickback had just been announced. Louisiana Purchase. The entire content of the bill was horrible, but the process was even more repulsive. So that gave people in all states a reason to say, this is in my interest. This race, actually, if it's winnable, is worth my $20.
Yeah, I first caught it on Facebook, and I first off, let me thank you guys for whatever, I know Scott Brown people have a lot of questions about now, but remembering back, I know our that lovely senator from Maine pushed it out of committee and let the original bill pass the Senate, and without you guys getting him in there and getting that 41st vote, they would have passed a different looking bill, and I think we have a much better shot here at repealing this travesty of a monstrosity of a bill because of all that you did in getting Scott Brown in there.
I agree, and I thank you, but it wasn't just us.
I know
there
that.
was
I know.
thousands of people around the country doing pretty much the same thing. I just happened to create a tag that did the categorized the content and kind of focused on the value prop. But everybody around the country, once they saw it was remotely possible, they did the same thing. Thousands and thousands of people like me. So it wasn't just...
so you think the turning point was that Rasmussen report, though, that really helped?
At 9%, single digits.
Which was amazing in and of itself. I remember just thinking, oh my gosh, there's hope. And I had been at the town halls, and I was in the middle of a congressional campaign. I thought, oh gosh, what, if they can do this, and people 3,000 miles away over here in Oregon, where you're sending off their money.
Yeah, I donated $100 myself.
Yeah.
And
I gave too.
And I'll tell you guys what I really liked. What I found inspiring is you kind of created a model for how to use social media in a campaign and how to make it go viral and actually make it work and make it more popular than it might have been otherwise.
Well, it was interesting because, I mean, I saw, you and so many other people said, hey, Scott's at 6,800 followers. Let's get him to 7,000. He's at 8,000 Facebook friends. Let's get him to 9,000. And so it did, as you say, become viral. It became supporters building his campaign when, at that time, they hadn't had the money bomb. The millions of dollars weren't flowing in.
Hey, can we even say money bomb anymore? Is that too vitriolic?
Yeah, a bunch of Tea Party guys all talking about money bombs. Huh?
Right.
They'll blame us for something.
We can't even shoot the breeze on radio anymore.
Oh, how funny that is, though, huh? How true. We got about a minute and a half before break, but we'll hold you guys over. But So going forward, we have the growing power and influence of social media in general as an effective alternative to the mainstream traditional mediums of news. What are the benefits, drawbacks, and what's in store for the future here? Which direction do you see this going?
Well, there are lots of benefits. When you are effectively using social media, it's not all about me. Come, give me money, I'm standing waving on a corner. You have thousands of people giving testimonials, essentially, and saying, no, you got to donate to this guy. He's great. So if you just look at it in terms of the old traditional marketing, when you say, buy my product, okay, why? Well, because I think it's great. Well, how compelling is that? And then you get your marketing guy that comes out and does what they do. And it's like, okay, still it's a marketing guy or it's a PR guy sending out a press release. But when regular customers or future voters decide that you're great and they're going to tell all their friends, social media becomes what I've called word of mouth on steroids. So, and the credibility, the third-party credibility is what's great about it. There's a drawback, though, and Brad, you can talk about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, as I say, one of the great benefits is it's unfiltered. One of the drawbacks is it's unfiltered. And, if it's on a Facebook stream or YouTube comments, etc., you can have, whether it is just organic or orchestrated, the kind of comments that you get back that kind of pollute the stream and interrupt your message. If you're really effective, as John said, if you're effectively using social media, you're constantly impacting, but it's a constant process of mini crisis management.
Yeah. We got to take a commercial break, guys. Can you hang over the break with us? Come back on the other side.
Happy to.
All right. You're listening to the Jay and Carol Show at KQIK 1360 AM. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.